What's up, guys? Today I've got a project going where I need to rip this sheet of plywood, and I just want to throw a few things out there that might help you if you have to do the same project. Now, obviously, I've got some sawhorses set up under here, but the one of the tips that I wanted to give you was to put another board or two, three, whatever you got under it to lay your plywood on. And this allows for two things. One is you don't cut your sawhorses if you are ripping across. Two, what it allows for is support from the front end to the back end. And I'm going to be ripping across. I'm going to rip this into 4 different pieces, evenly measured. And when I cut it, it's just going to be able to lay there. It's not going to fall off. I'm not going to have to hold it or anything like that or do anything funny. If you don't have sawhorses, you can still use just some scrap pieces. Lay them down on the ground if you have an even spot, or if you have a concrete floor, which I do not have. Do that. I have saw some people suggest on if you have a concrete floor, getting some of the foam panel insulation in a sheet of it and laying it down. And that's a good idea and everything. To me, it just makes an unnecessary mess. And if you will get your saw and set the depth of your blade to the material that you're about to cut, just a 16th past or pretty close to it there, you can not even hardly make a mark on whatever you are cutting on, and still use it for something if you don't care about the little marks on it. But what I'm going to do is just set it a little bit past. Full disclosure, I have a track saw that I was going to use. I have a Makita track saw, but I got it out and I checked the batteries this morning, and one of my batteries is bad, so I've got to deal with that. This sheet of plywood it's about a 16th long, short. It's a 16th short. So what I need to do is make marks on both sides of the plywood to lay my straight edge. All right. My tip is to make sure you measure from the same end. So I'm going to measure right here, and I want it in 2 foot evenly spaced pieces here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'll tell you something else here in just a second. All right, so I've got those marks. Now I need to do the same thing on this side. But I'm more comfortable reaching with my left, pulling my tape. But the whole point of this tip is if I measure from this end to that end on one side and from doing the opposite on the other, then I'm going to have a little shift in my measurements. That 16th that the board is off, it's not an even 8 foot. It's a little bit shy going by my tape here. It will be shifted a 16th. And that may not matter in some of your applications, but let's pretend like it does. So I'm gonna measure this too. So I'm gonna put this out here. Measure these. Measure these. Okay. So now I've got all my measurements even. All right, so that'll help me too. That'll help me be square, more square in the end. Very few things that I do is all the way square. So just the way that it is for me. But since I don't have my track saw, what I'm going to use is a 4 foot level. And I got a few clamps. I've got some other clamps that I could use, but these work pretty good. But what I'm going to do here, or what I have done, I wanted 2 foot even strips. But what I've done is I have I've measured from the outside of the saw guide here, the base, to the edge of the cutting edge right here. It's 1 1/8 inches. So what I did was jump over 1 1/8 inches from the actual measurement that I want. So when I place this straight edge, that I will have my saw set for the actual measurement that I want. And some of you may be thinking, well, that's common sense and everything, but just in case it isn't, I'm putting it out there for you. Because, you know, some things I've had to figure out the hard way, and I did stuff for a long time a certain way, and blah, blah, blah. It didn't help. But hey, get better every day, right? So here we go. All right, so I've got it cut. And you can see it didn't fall off. It's still here, and that's what I wanted. And I just had it hanging on the edge here. So that's one sheet down. I'm gonna put that over there.